Class is in session. The Brofessor is in. Welcome, y'all, to the bargain bin. In the bargain bin today, we're going to go over superstars that are going to help you win this midweek boss battle, but they're not going to be the top four. If you want to see the top four, there's going to be a video that you can click on right up there, and that'll take you to the best of the best for this boss battle. But in terms of whom I think are going to be effective and helpful for you in this boss battle, that's what we're going to check out right now. So again, these are people that are going to help you either deal some damage with some battle attributes, so either 400% botch, 600% green gem, or 300% sub. They're going to help with the shield, and they're going to help you with your team going forward. Now, I will say this. This is probably the stingiest amount of battle attributes we've gotten so far. So this is going to be a very difficult boss. So more than anything else, you're going to need to come to your team and help them in one way. So you're going to have to find a help. If you don't have the top four and you're not carrying, you're going to have to help your team either with breaking purple gems to break the shield, which is not affected by neutralize, coming in here with an unfreeze that you can at level 10, so you can take away the boss's ability to freeze your moves, or you can use a neutralize. We finally have a reason to use neutralize again, neutralize being part of the chaotic group of boss breakers. That will help get rid of this buff. That's 100% each increase for each black gem on the board. So neutralize works there. And then the other one that you can use, which will help with this, is exhaust, right? Exhaust will also take away some of the boss's damage, keep your team alive longer. All right, now that we got that under control, let's bro. Who we got in this is going to be for each category. So starting off in the focused category over here, one of the first ones that you're going to see that is going to do a ton of damage. Well, actually, we'll make green. That should help us find it faster. They're all down here, and so I understand these aren't the bargainest of the bargain bins, but I wanted to give you, outside of the top four, who they're going to be. So bear with me for a second. One of them is going to be Fatu. Fatu is going to have a nice bonus for every botch gem. Damage right there. He's going to create green gems. He's going to make a bunch of botch gems into green gems, and so forth. He also has a sub, but that's not what we're looking for. So you're going to be able to make botch. You're going to be able to make green gems. So he's going to be really good. The other one that's going to be really good is actually the Chief of Beasts, and this was my second pick, sort of for the best in the category. Probably running him with a tri-colored build, you'll be able to do multiplies. You'll be able to buff green gem damage. And there's one more multiplies into purple. You can use them in that fashion. And then choosing to make into green. He's not going to make a ton of green that way, but you're going to get multiplies and green buffs. So you're going to be able to keep stacking that and buffing them. So I also like the Chief of Beasts in this position as well. Building on from that, and then again, this is the last one that I'll say this, Billy Rieger is always an option, especially when it comes to making damage. If you don't have the best ones, he's still going to do, with the right stuff, hundreds of millions, at least 100 million, if not more, depending on what he can do. Okay, now to people that we might all have in some fashion. Grayson Waller is another person that you can bring in to this, someone who makes a bunch of multiply gems, who also makes, where is it? Increase your, and make, there you go, and makes random green gems as well. So someone making greens, making multiplies, that's one of the big things that we're always looking at. So Grayson Waller, definitely going to be good in this category. Next on the list of people that we can throw in here and use to some good effect, someone who makes a ton of green gems, or someone who has some sort of buffs with that. So Cowboy Bob Orton makes pyro gems and a whole bunch of green gems out of that. So that's going to be a good choice for us. So next on our list after that are people that can make a bunch of green gems and do damage with it. So Cowboy Bob Orton, somebody who makes pyro gems and makes it green the entire board. That's going to be effective and useful. He does make botch gems as well too, so you would be able then to destroy botch gems underneath the green gems. So that is something you can think about how to run him for such a boss. Next, somebody on the list would be Tech Kofi, somebody else who makes a lot of green gems, and he has a 4-turn buff, which is also really good. He has damage for every green gem. It's not very big, but it's still a move that can work. But it's this one here that buffs out for 4 turns, so you can be able to stack that one really nicely together. So Tech Kofi is somebody else you can think about in the focus category. Hall of Fame, Bret Hart, somebody else who makes multiply gems, chooses a bunch of those multiply gems to turn into green gems. Not going to be the greatest, but it will definitely help in that fashion. Again, we're just looking for people that can do a little bit of damage, not necessarily in the hundreds of millions, just anybody that's going to help out remotely in that case. So that is another one that you can think of. Some people have said that Gunther would do well for them, and in a sense, he kind of will. He will make multiply gems. It'll increase the strength of them. He just doesn't make a lot of them. But he does have a choose into green gem move, so that also helps. So you can also run it with the Juggernaut, since we don't have a Juggernaut reduction buff out there. I don't think he'll be very effective in that sense, but he is someone that does botch gems, has damage per botch gems, and can make some of them on the board. Yeah, he's just not going to hit very, very hard, but he is very common. So Roman Reigns, head of the table, could be someone that you could think about in the focus category that you could like to go through. Who else could we use from this that was going to be good for this? I think it was actually you. I think it was Razor, and it's not this moveset for Razor, but it's actually, he's going to be able to do purples. He's going to increase green gem damage, make the whole board almost into greens themselves. He's going to be able to help with the shield, with the Beal, and this turns them into cross breaks. That wasn't it. Nope. Nope. Work with me here, mouse. There we go. That's better. Yeah, or you can actually put that. That would swap into purple gems, the power bomb. So Razor would also be somebody to think about. If you got him last month and decided to take him up high enough, he could also work some magic there. In terms of somebody else that might be worthwhile to use, you could also think about Andre. I believe it was Andre. He swaps his finisher, and he has multiplies. So you could probably run him the double green, but he is another person that can do a little bit of damage. And I think there was one more. Yes, there was. It was CM Punk, who I'm 50 shards away from, but somebody else who makes a bunch of multiply gems and gives you a green gem bonus damage for each green gem on the board. So that would be, I think, not the exhaustive list, but that is a big list of those in the focus. The focus category seems to be one of the two most powerful categories for that one. In terms of the chaotic category, someone that you can think about would be The Undertaker. And if you got his gear, it's going to do a little bit more green gem damage for you. But here's somebody who makes green gems into multiplies. With that purple move right there, traps into black is what you'd have to go with it. But it would be someone who can make a bunch of green on the board, as well as some multiply gems with it. So Undertaker, zombie version, you are one that we are looking at. I believe it was you as well. Another zombie, Zedge, zombie Edge. He's going to be able to make countdowns. Where was it? Bonus damage for countdowns. He makes a few greens. He doesn't. He's yellow. I'm thinking of the wrong person, but he will make a few greens. Not who we're looking for. Sorry, Zombie Edge. Whoops. You were just happened to be at the top of the list. But speaking of thinking of people at the top of the list, not going to be the best in this, of course. We are in the bargain bin, but somebody who is going to make with this type of a moveset here, finisher. So bonus damage per botch gem, making columns into botch gems, turning those botch gems into green. So running a triple green moveset on Sako, if you've got the gear on top of that, it's going to generate more green gems. So that's something to think about if you got his Santa gear. So he's somebody you can use. Somebody else you can use would be RK Bro. His issue is that his multiply move here makes green gems into multiply, so eventually you run out of green gems, but you do fill them on the board each turn with a 1 MP, so you'll be able to put multiplies, put greens out there, and sort of hope for the best. So RK Bro is someone we can also use. We've gotten a lot of people telling me about Bret Hart Heart Foundation, and that's a great shout out as well too. This one is botch gems, purple gems, right? So you have both of those, so help with the shield, bring a whole bunch of botch gems, and then what's the other move we wanted to do? Strength of your multiply gems. Remaining turns into multiply gems there. So you could run it like a triple purple, but that will keep making purple. You'd have to put botch gems and destroy them somehow, some way. You can also go with the red. There you go. You would go red, and then you could go with the red moveset and choose to make into green. So another person you can use right there, Nakamura. Surprisingly enough. So Nakamura is somebody who you can just keep hitting this over and over and over again. I wouldn't use any other move until the shield came up, and then you can swap into purple gems and try to help out with the shield, but you can just hit that flying kick over and over and over again. None of the other moves, it's all leech gems in blue, but you can hit that one over and over, making 41 each time out. A lot of people said this KO as well too, in addition to the other KO. He does make immobile gems into green, so you can use his stunner as a finisher, make a bunch of immobile gems, but that's sort of his limitation right there. Not going to be the greatest, but I thought I'd mention him just in case, as people were wondering whom you can use. D'Lo. D'Lo's going to be pretty good as well too. He's going to make a bunch of multiply gems. He's going to increase your green gem damage with the Juggernaut gem right there. This flying forearm smash is going to make a whole bunch of multiply gems. And then we needed to, or you could do the color turn gem moveset as well to get the green gems. So D'Lo going to be good that way. Was there one more? There was one more. It was actually Oozing Machismo Razor Ramon. So multiply gems will increase their strength if you can have his gear at the same time. He's going to make botch multiplies, greens and purples. So somebody else to possibly think about if you have him. He is rather rare, but in terms of people that we can use in the chaotic, that is one of them. Heading on over to the aggressive side of people. A lot of people, I put this in my top 4 as well. X-Pac is going to be pretty good if everything worked like it was supposed to. But as we know, the 2-gear system, I don't think actually was ever fixed. So I don't think you'll actually get both of the buffs onto there. But he should still work, hopefully, with one buff. And you would get that bonus damage for every botch gem, make a whole bunch of botch gems onto the board, even with the finisher. So he was in the top 4, I believe, but he's somebody else you can think about in this category right here. Again, also somebody in that top 4 video was Ken Shamrock. Same sort of thing. Botch gems into green, 2 different subs to do that. And plus the red move there is bonus damage, the headbutt for every botch gem. Somebody else you can think your way through. The next one you can think of on the list, if you have him high enough, the Icon Class Edge himself does have an increased green gem damage effect move. You're going to make random gems with the finisher. So those are 2 you can think of. And he does make, with this one right here, Snowfall Greens. So you definitely have a way to run the Iconoclast. He's someone that you can think of making those green gems and getting a buff on those gems. Who else do we have in this category that I was thinking of? Techno Hogan was in the other video as well, so he's someone to think about. But I think that was it. What if we checked this one instead? Who'd I miss? You could run Corbin in there with the botch gem damage. I just don't think it's going to do a ton, but it's someone else to think through if you want to. So for defensive, thinking about guys who can make green gems, he doesn't make a lot of them, but Hall of Fame Triple H could be one of them that you could put into this category. I don't believe Elias makes a lot of them either, but he does have a big green. Oh, that's for purple. Choose 7 to make it a green. Those make it a purple. So he would be someone to help with not only we don't have a mobile this time around. With the shield, he's going to make some green and some purple. So, again, not the greatest. Defensive has some good guys in here, but for the most part, not a ton of them. Here we go. Texi Lexi. Silence into green. Make a whole bunch into silence, and then you can do the sub on top of that. Nothing else I would do there. You could run him triple green. Not a lot of damage, but again, somebody to make a bunch of green gems for you if you don't have Zombie Dom, who's probably going to be the biggest killer in this one. And I think that was all the ones that I thought that were going to be the most effective. All right, so there's the bargain bin video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if I missed anybody, and give me the idea, or put in the comments if I have missed anybody, who else you think is going to be really good for this boss battle. Oh man, I almost forgot. Here I am forgetting where we are and who we're talking about. The final boss. If you're able to get him and take him up as high as you want him to, he does have a whole bunch of botch gem damage with the finisher. He does make purple to break the shield. He's going to, and that's the power gem stuff, but he would be somebody else in the bargain bin who's going to be able to at least help out with the shield, but make his finisher do a bunch of damage that way as well too. Almost forgot him. How could you almost forget the guy who it's all named after? All right, that's the bargain bin that we got going for us this time around. Let me know what you got in the comments, as I just said. And I wish you good luck on this midweek. Let's bro, everybody. Thanks for coming to class. Brofessor out.